Hey guys, welcome to this week's review of Put a Ring on It. Now, I know I missed 500 episodes, but you know how it is. When you fall behind, it's hard to catch up again. But rewatching the episodes that I missed reviewing, to be honest, not much really happened in those episodes. It was pretty much a repeat of what has been going on throughout the season. Really, Darian and his cheating and him trying to apologize and do all that. It was really frustrating to watch because we all know that it is not genuine. In Alexis's words in this finale episodes, he's a narcissist. He is. And I've been hard on Darian, but at certain points I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's just straight up a narcissist. The way he carried on this finale episode, there's absolutely no doubt about it. He had absolutely no remorse, no shame for what he did, right? We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes in life, right? We all took the wrong road, in Portia Williams' words, right? But when you do, there should be a certain amount of shame, a certain amount of remorse or guilt that you feel. He, in that moment, he didn't want to take any accountability for his actions, and he just wanted to blame Alexis. So seeing him beg and cry, I was in the previous episodes, I wasn't here for it. Seeing Alexis wipe a tear from his effing eye, that was probably one of the most frustrating moments in reality television for me, because it's just very clear he was playing a game, and I was scared for a moment that she was falling for it and that she may forgive him and get back together with him. It looks like that is not the case, thank God, but for the moment I was really worried. When it comes to Eric and Jessica, it was a typical kind of back and forth with them, not really being on the same page, yet, oddly enough, being very similar to one another. LaRonda and Jay, I'm actually happy with them. I'm not 100% sure with them, but it feels like, okay, maybe they have a chance. One thing with LaRonda, though, my beef with LaRonda, maybe I'm projecting my own personal experience, but I know how it is to have a parent that's not in a great space, right? They're not healthy. And at the end of the day, even though you may be an adult, you are the child. They are the parent. And it shouldn't be all on the child to make the relationship work if the parent isn't really willing to take accountability and change their behavior, especially when their behavior is toxic. Like, what can you do in that situation? Right? And so for LaRonda to be like, well, I'm close to my family, so you should be close to yours. Well, part of the reason you're close, or more of all the reason that you are close to your family and you have that healthy relationship, is because your parents modeled that healthy relationship for you as a child, right? They gave you that love, they gave you that affection. So of course, as an adult, it's easy for you to be close to them. But if you've never had that as a child, if your parent was an alcoholic, right? If your parent was abusive, right? How, as an adult, are you able to show them that love and affection when you never got that from them? And they're not willing to change their behavior, and they're not willing to take accountability for the mistakes that they made. For you chasing after them, right? You're putting yourself in a bad situation, right? Not only are you putting yourself, if LaRonda and Sean are to get married and they're to have kids, would it be healthy for LaRonda? Would it be healthy for their children to be around somebody that has addiction issues and that is abusive? No, that wouldn't be a healthy scenario. So yes, I understand in an ideal situation you would have that relationship with your parents and family. Of course, who wouldn't want that, right? But unfortunately, that's not the reality for some people. And I don't know. I don't think that should be put on their head, or they should be held accountable, or that it is up to the child to make everything work all the time. If it's not working, it's not working. What can they do? And Dr. Nicole was absolutely right. Like, at the end of the day, you can't control other people, and you are responsible for your own healing. But however, you don't need, like, Sean doesn't need his father's approval. Sean doesn't need to have his relationship to heal from the trauma that he experienced, right? That is something that he has to do on his own. And if you are dating somebody, or you're married to somebody that has experienced trauma, that does not come from the perfect family situation, you you do need to kind of accept that for who they are. Now, I mean, if they are reacting in an unhealthy way based on the trauma that they experienced, then you definitely don't have to accept that, right? But if they're doing their best to heal and move on and be a better person, you have to accept that. You have to accept that, okay, that person's family is not going to look like my relationship with my family, right? You can't project your own standards or your own experiences onto somebody else. That's that. Like, you just have to accept what it is. And if you want to be with somebody that has a close-knit relationship with their family, which is fine because that's what you value and that's what you want for yourself when you have kids. You want them to have a close-knit relationship with their grandparents, that's fine. But you can't force your partner to do that if that's just not what it is. It's better that you find somebody that actually has that relationship than try to force somebody to have a relationship with somebody that is toxic. So that on that. So let's just move forward for the finale. Oh, okay. Before we go to the finale, we all know that obviously Darian and Alexis, they didn't make it because he cheated. Eric and Jessica, they're engaged. LaRonda and Sean, they're engaged, right? So it's a happy, quote unquote, happy ending for 2 out of the 3 couples, right? So let's fast forward to the finale episode. Let's do Jessica and Eric. I don't know with Jessica and Eric. I understand that relationships are not perfect, right? Everybody has their issues, but there's just something with them where I just don't feel like they're compatible. I don't, right? And I know we're only seeing snapshots, so it's kind of unfair for me to make assumptions on whether or not they're meant to be or not, right? Nothing really happened with their little segment. We didn't really get much of an insight. We do know that there isn't a wedding date planned because they're trying to build a house and da. I mean, I've never been engaged before, so I mean, I can understand when you engage, you're not necessarily in a rush to get down the aisle. But I don't know. I guess with these reality television shows, I'm always a little bit skeptic. I don't know the timeline between when they've been filming, when the finale episode was versus the reunion. I don't know what the timeline is, but I'm just a little bit skeptical because I don't know if you guys notice when they're playing the flashback or certain scenes, I feel like Jessica's kind of turning to him and looking at him, trying to get a kiss from him, and he's not looking at her at all. He's just looking straight ahead. You know, I guess there's a little screen playing the flashback. He's not paying her any mind at all. And I just get the energy for them that they're not really compatible. I think Eric is definitely attracted to Jessica, and I think Jessica is definitely attracted to maybe Eric. I don't know, he used to play for the NFL, so maybe he has a little bit of coin. Maybe she's attracted to that. Not to oversimplify it, but I think they kind of like what each other represents, right? I feel like in terms of expectations, one another makes sense, but in terms of actual connection, I just do not see it for them. I really don't, right? I think Eric has maybe unrealistic standards, and I don't know. Um, so what was the lady that Eric went on a bunch of date with? Lelena. She was at the reunion, and the other guy, I forgot his name, that Jessica dated, right? Lelena, I can understand Jessica feeling some type of way because Lelena was definitely touchy, feely, right? But I mean, Dr. Nicole said there wasn't any boundaries, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just don't really have much to say about them, but I just don't get the vibe that they're gonna make it. I'm sorry. I hope that they do, but something just seems off with them as a couple. And just their body language, them kind of saying, yeah, we're still a work in progress, we still have a lot of work to do, we were fighting so much, we weren't sure if we were gonna make it. It just seems like they're not even married yet and they already have so many issues. And I feel like part of the reason why Eric didn't, proposed to her was more so like, we're on television, obviously we want to give this happy ending, this happy moment, but I'm just not I'm not buying it. I'm not sure if it's really genuine. Moving on. LaRonda and Sean, them too, they don't have a date set to get married, so that makes me a little bit nervous. However, I know I said at the beginning, I was definitely a fan of LaRonda and Sean. But as the season progressed, I kind of switched to being like, okay, maybe Eric and Jessica have the best chance. But now I'm going to switch back to Sean and LaRonda. I definitely do think that they have the best chance out of the two couples, really, two out of the, yeah, because like Darian and Alexia obviously are not no longer together. um I give them the best odds, but then again, I just don't know. But I wish them well, right? I do think Sean definitely has things he needs to heal from regarding his upbringing. And it's like when you don't do the work on yourself, when you don't heal whatever you need to heal, it's hard because it does affect all the relationships you have with people, whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic. It's just like, it's something that just seeps out of you on an unconscious level, and you don't really know how it affects your relationships, right? And you may find that when you get to a certain place, you may look back and be like, wait a minute, what was I doing? That maybe my connections and relationships with people were not, maybe it was not coming from a healthy place. It was coming from a toxic place, right? So I do hope that his relationship with LaRonda is coming from a genuine place and there's really something there versus it coming from a place of insecurity, right? Maybe LaRonda does, coddle him a little bit or soothes him, and that's why he's with her versus them really having a genuine connection. But I don't think that's true. I do think that they have a genuine connection. I do think they feed off of each other. Like, they both have a sense of humor, they both have a playfulness, and I do hope it does work out for them. Sir James, he was at the finale episode or the reunion. He's very attractive, but then, seeing him kind of saying, oh, when I saw Sean, I thought he was her son. First of all, that's an insult to LaRonda, and that's an insult obviously to Sean, because LaRonda, I mean, how old do you think LaRonda looks if you think Sean is her son? That's absolutely ridiculous. I know Sean is on the shorter side, right? And I know Sean can at times come off as immature, but no way in hell are you thinking that that's her son. That's absolutely ridiculous and insulting to both parties and really immature. I don't know if he was just trying to make a lighthearted joke and it backfired, but that just shows Sir James' insecurity at that point. And Sean tried to get back at him like, you play flag football. And it's like, what does that mean? If he, like, what are you trying to say? He plays flag football, so that's for kids? That was kind of a weak comeback. If it was me, I would have been like, well, maybe you bumped your head a little too many times, right? Playing football, that you think I'm her son. Like, something like that. That's still lame. I guess there's not really anything to say at that point, because Sir James just looks stupid in that moment. He's reading himself at that point, so there's no need for a comeback. I would have just been like, well, that's very immature for you to say, and I think that, you kind of are insulting my girl, and not only are you insulting me, but you're insulting my girl, because look at her, right? Come on. I'm a grown man. That was just absolutely ridiculous. So Sir James definitely played himself to the left. Okay. The singer girl, she did say that she felt like Sean was being misleading and everything. But I don't know. I just feel like if you come onto the show, you know the premise of the show. Whether you're one of the couples or you're one of the dates, you know the premise of the show. You know what it is about. You know that this person is in a relationship, right? So I don't think, if you are one of the dates, unpopular opinion or maybe a popular opinion, you don't have any space to feel hurt if at the end of the day the person doesn't want to pursue any more dates with you because they're in a relationship. So if I were one of the daters, I would come in this situation. I don't know if I would even do it, right? I think it makes sense for her to do it because, yes, she's a singer. It's free promotion, so that works out for her. But I wouldn't come into the situation with any sort of expectations. Yes, I would come on to promote myself if I had something to promote, but I wouldn't really walk away from the situation thinking that I'm going to find somebody and I'm going to fall in love with them. Like, that's just completely messy. Even if that person does not pursue a relation or not pursue a relationship, even if that person does not continue with the relationship with their partner, right? And they decide that they are going to break things off. I don't want to be a rebound, like Kai, right? I don't want to be a rebound. So I wouldn't even want to be in that situation. Like, that's just a messed up situation. So I don't really think any of these daters kind of have the right to feel any sort of type of way. That's how I feel. Moving on to the grand finale, right? The couple we've all come to see, Darian and Alexa. Darian is a narcissist, like I've been saying. Darian is a narcissist, 100%. I'm not surprised by how he was acting, but at the end of the day, it's just like, you have no shame at all. Like, okay, you did dirt, right? Everybody does dirt. You could have just easily been like, I effed up, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, Alexa, but, I am grateful for the experience because maybe it made me see that we're probably not meant to be, right? I feel like I wasn't ready to be married, but I didn't want to let you go, but I should have just been honest with you, right? If he had said that, yes, would he still sort of be the bad guy in the situation? Of course he would, right? But at least he would be honest. And he would be not so much the villain, but he would have been a human that did dirt. But the fact that he he couldn't take any accountability. He tried to blame Alexis. He tried to be like, well, we weren't having good sex, so that's why I did it. That's just absolutely ridiculous to me. Even if that is true, why didn't you bring that up during the show? Why didn't you discuss that? Why didn't you deal with that issue? It is just very clear to me that this is not the first time that Darian has cheated with Alexia. This has been going on because she felt it in her gut, even though she did not have any concrete proof. She felt it, she knew it, but she denied herself of that. She denied herself that feeling, and she gave him the benefit of the doubt. And I said before, Kai is definitely one of those blessings in disguise, right? Because she exposed him. She let it be known. And if it weren't for Kai, she never would have found out. She never would have found, okay, I wouldn't say she never would have found out, but it definitely sped up the process. And Kai presented it in such a way in which Alexia couldn't deny it anymore. She couldn't deny her guts because it was right in front of her face. So Alexia should be thanking Kai, right? And of course, Kai and Darian are in a relationship at this point. And I could feel some sort of way with Kai. I can cuss Kai out or whatever I want, but at this point, Kai is definitely getting her karma. Her karma is being in a relationship with Darian. That is her karma, right? Because everything Alexia went through, Kai is about to go through. Hopefully, Kai won't be going through this for 14 years, but she's gonna get it. She's gonna go through it, and she's gonna experience everything, and she's gonna eat crow, and she's gonna absolutely feel ridiculous for even for a second trying to feel superior or better over Alexia. Never do that, ladies. Never, ever, ever, ever do that, because you just end up looking like a fool. You do. Look at the other woman. Look at her experiences. Don't deny it. Don't think that, oh, I look better, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, so that's not going to happen to me. Oh, clearly that's going to happen to you. If it's not, because at the end of the day, it wasn't about Alexis. It wasn't about Kai. It was about Darian. That's what he does. That's how he moves. And until he decides for himself that he's not going to do these things anymore, it doesn't matter what all these ladies are going to do. He's going to do what he's going to do. So never turn your nose down at another woman thinking, oh, that wouldn't be me. That's not going to happen to me, because you're absolutely going to look like a fool. And that's what Kai is looking like, an absolute fool. To the point she has to walk out from the stage because she kind of realizes that she looks like an idiot. And at this point, even with Kai, I'm not completely buying it, because you know what it is when you come onto this situation, right? You know the person's in a relationship. Not only that, you are rewatching the season with all of us. You're seeing all the things he's saying, all the things he's doing, how he's moving. Clearly, he wanted to get back with Alexia, right? Clearly, production exposed this. He wanted to propose to her. So the only reason he's with you now is because Alexia dumped him. And someone like Darian doesn't know how to be on his own. If Alexia doesn't know how to be on her own, Darian, he's an extension of that. He does not know how to be on his own. So instead of taking the moment to step back and reflect on everything and reflect on what he really wants for himself, he jumps into another relationship with you because he doesn't want to deal with his trauma. He doesn't want to deal with his crap. And he will use you to soothe and whatever, just like you're using him for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you get an ego boost from feeling like you took somebody's man, right? Maybe you get an ego boost feeling like you're superior. But at the end of the day, it's just all gonna fall apart. It is. And I know she did some interviews with Little Black Book, so I will be watching that later to kind of see, how everything kind of unfold, but it seems like it didn't work out, right? It seems like it didn't work out for her. So hopefully this is a lesson for everybody. I mean, it also came out that he didn't just sleep with Kai once, he slept with her multiple times, right? Which I'm not surprised. Like, I never believed that he just slept with her one time. Like, are you kidding me? Right? This guy is a serial cheater. I'm happy for Alexia that she's like, I'm over him. Hopefully she does not get back with him at any point, because not to say that he can't change, but Alexia has already wasted 14 years of her life. She doesn't need to waste any more. What she needs to do is heal, take accountability for herself and the things that she was doing, right? To kind of make her feel like it was okay to be in the situation, so she doesn't repeat the same thing again with somebody else and spends another 14 years of her life with someone that, isn't really serious about her. Overall, this was a good season, right? Oh, one more thing I will say. I just I don't know. I don't like Egypt as a host, because I think that if you're a host, right, you're there to facilitate other people speaking their truth, right? You're there to keep things organized. You're there to make sure that everybody has a voice. At the end of the day, it's not about you and your opinions and what you think. You're not Dr. Nicole. And I just felt that with Egypt, there were several moments. I don't know if it was editing, but I just feel like there were several moments where I wanted to hear from the cast members, but instead Egypt was cutting them off and she was talking. And it's like, dude, you're not on the show. You're the host. We do not want to hear your opinion. We want to hear what the people have to say. An example of that is with Kai, when she was talking to Kai, in the back room. I wanted to hear more of Kai's perspective, but Egypt just sort of kept cutting her off. And it's like, dude, we don't want to hear about your opinion. You are not Dr. Nicole. You are the host, right? You are supposed to facilitate us hearing more of the cast members' perspective or where they're coming from. And you cutting them off is just like, I feel like as an audience, we're being cheated. So, I don't know. I'm not really feeling her as a host. She wasn't terrible, but I think that's kind of one of the notes I would give her, is like, okay, we want to hear more of what people have to say, not you. Okay, well, overall, as I've been saying, the season was good. I definitely would want to see another season of this, right? I think this is definitely a good idea for a show. So, that's everything, guys. See ya.